Jävla filtri. Okay. Finally back with some stuff to show you guys from my garage. I have started a new build. It's once again a Mercedes 300 TDT, 92 year model. Before I did anything to it, I took a small film from it. So here we have this winter's project. I bought this in the fall 2021. It was driven by an old man who passed away here nearby, and his son sold it in the local selling site. And I didn't even check all the pictures that was uploaded on it. I just called and said I take it, because you can maybe see why. It has all the good stuff you want in these. Leather, black leather interior and the black color. Sadly, this is a non-turbo version, but it is in very good condition. Not even a hole here, which is common in every Benz I have seen here in Finland at least. Almost no rust, just some small spots, and I thought it was not driven so much when I bought it, but I almost fell backwards when I saw this. But overall it's in very good condition. The engine is totally worn. Has maybe half of its power left. And the gearbox works a little bit like it wants to. This is going to go out anyway, so I'm only going to take the injection pump from it and send that to Dieselmeken to make a 8mm one. And it will get a total repaint even when it's in this good condition, but it has some small dents here and there in the panels, and there is some rust here. This is maybe the worst part on the car. I don't know why it has rusted only here, because the rest of the car is in very good condition. And the trunk lid has been replaced, painted in the right color, but you can see that it's a little bit different from the rest of the car. And the front fenders has also been painted, so it's a good project to just take apart and paint it. The first thing I did, I took everything loose from it. The engine out, all the axles out, interior out, and then I checked for the rust damages. So here is one hole, the engine bay, and these are the normal spots. There is one piece missing, and here is quite big hole, and there is a small one, and here on this side, one hole here, the last one is here. Then it was a small dent on the rear panel, which I had to straighten out, so I took a small film from that also. I had to fix a dent here on the passenger side. I checked the driver side here, then I saw that it's a curve like to the outside on this part where the rear bumper comes up against. And then I checked this side and I saw that this was almost 1 centimeter pushed in by some reason. And I don't know, I haven't seen any scratch or dent how it has happened, but I made this special pressing tool to push it out. It's like some steel plates and just this nut pushes these away from each other, so I got it back out. Should be good enough. Then I fixed all the rust holes. It was over 30 rust holes had to be fixed. So it was actually worse than the brown one, but it had only small rust holes, so it wasn't so big job to do. This is how it looks today. It is all took apart. I have just made this radiator and intercooler mount, same as in the brown one, just a rectangular pipe with some mounts for the intercooler and the original 300 TDT radiator, which I bought a new one. Big 3-inch intercooler, which I got sponsored from Max Speeding Rods. They sell all sorts of car tuning parts, like coilovers, as I'm using on the E36 drifting project, turbos and intercoolers like this. This is the biggest one you can fit in Mercedes, both in the 124 and the 190 model. It fits just between the frame rails. So I have made this to fit already. And then I also got this intercooler piping kit. It is the same kit as I have bought for the previous projects. 3-inch pipes, aluminium. I think it's 2 millimeter thick. So it's good stuff to weld the boost pipes from. I think it was 6 or 8 silicone hoses, but they were blue. And I don't prefer blue, so I bought these black ones instead. 2 bends and 2 straight pieces. So I will make them just as in the brown one I had before. And then a whole bunch of clamps, just these regular. So big thanks to Max Speeding Rods for sponsoring this stuff. I will put a link in the description for the kit, for the boost pipe kit and the intercooler. And then I also have a discount code, which was, I think it was 10% off your total order. So go check out their web store. This will almost be built just like the brown one actually, just some small modifications. The only modification to the engine are these valve springs. And I will change these without taking the cylinder head off. I have made a special tool so that can be done. So I will film that in a later episode and show that to you. And these are bought from Kokkolan Moottorihiomo, and these are an upgrade both to the OM 604, 605 and 606. So every diesel pre-chamber engine which has 4 valves per cylinder. And also an upgrade for the CDI engines. I have seen many people use the CDI springs in these pre-chamber engines, but these are even stiffer and you can rev even more with these. So you can send Kokkolan Moottorihiomo a DM on Instagram to buy these. They are really good price. And the diesel pump, of course, from the kings of diesel pump building, Dieselmeken in Sweden. This is an 8 millimeter pump built in a RS 171 pump, and it has a maximum fuel at 200 cc, and I will probably rev it all the way to 7,000 RPM with these springs. That shouldn't be a problem. Pretty much the same as I used in the brown one. Air filter, cone, ram air filter with this silicone bend on the turbo. Of course this, which is the best upgrade you can do to your Mercedes or whatever car you build. Strong flex polyurethane bushings, the same kit that I have been using in almost every of my projects. this red one. I still have the discount code for this. Blumpo5 on the web shop gets you 5% off your total order. I have this same kit as I have been using both on my previous wagon builds and my white 190, but the 190 doesn't have this exact kit, but this is for the wagon model, estate model. So it has these very short rear shocks to replace the self-leveling system, which they have from the beginning. So this is a straight bolt-on kit for your estate wagon. So I can put a link in the description also straight to these from yellowspeedeurope.com. I have this same type of front bumper, exactly the same as I used on the brown one. And this is a straight copy of the original AMG front bumper. And they have a little bit wider front fenders from original. So you have to stretch the front fenders a little bit and then maybe push these sides a little bit in on the bumper to get it to fit. And this is from Gup Tuning in Estonia. They got me a really good deal on a whole AMG set, actually. I also have the side skirts and the rear bumper. I think I have a picture or video when I have them fitted on the chassis. The front bumper doesn't have any mounts inside, so I have to build those same as I did in the brown. I don't remember if I showed that, but I can take some videos of it when I have it made. The side skirts had just to be drilled some holes for the original bolts that holds the original side skirt, so that was an easy fix. And the rear bumper also had mounts from new, so that was just to drill a couple of holes also. I have this big oil cooler which comes in the front behind the grill. I have already made this mount, same type as I did in the brown one. This is a used oil cooler, but just needs some paint and then it's good as new. I will also use the same billet drive shafts as I have used in my previous projects. I have these CV joints emptied and cleaned, ready to be fitted to the new axles. So I just have to go buy them and then put it back together. I will be using these front brakes. I have already fixed these with new seals, and I had them in the strip ball over one night, so to get all the rust and dirt off them. So these are now like new front calipers, and then these are from 210 model. And to fit these to a 124, you need to switch the left caliper to the right side and the other to the left side. So because I think it's this brake hose fitting that hits the shock mount, and you can't use a regular brake hose for them, so they come straight out. You have to use this banjo type fitting to make them fit. And I found this. This is just a spare part hose. I think it's for a ML Mercedes model that should fit. I haven't tried it yet, but I heard some guys using these, so I hopefully just bolt these on. And then I'm using the original rear brake calipers from this car, just refurbished with some new parts, seals and stuff, and painted. Then I have a new model of this flywheel. It's from Eagle Clutches, just as the previous ones I have been using. I think the one I had in the brown wagon was 9.5 kilograms. And this is now almost 12 kilograms. So it's just as heavy as the original double mass flywheel from a manual car. And this is now made to fit the 606 engine and then this SAX 765 pressure plate from a BMW M5 model. And then I will be using a four-pack Sinter clutch disc, which I haven't got yet, but I have ordered it, so it should be ready to get picked up. Then I use the same fuel pump, the 044 model that pushes diesel from the tank to the diesel pump. And here I also have some new suspension parts and stuff ready to be mounted to the car. Also made this same preheater delete plate, which is designed by Markus Nordahl in Sweden. Really nice stuff. And some glass blasted parts ready to be mounted to the engine. And the engine will be this. It's an unopened 606 engine, which came to me all the way from Portugal, I think. It looks like they never change glow plugs in Portugal because they were very stuck on all 6 cylinders. So it was a quite big job to get them out. But they are now all out and the threads are in good condition. So I just have to mount new ones in. And then I will put the new wall springs in, all the gaskets on the oil pan and the wall cover and such. And I am also using a used Holset HX40 Super. It's a used one, but it's in good condition. I got it from my friend. And then the same Kangaroo's exhaust manifold. I have used this in my brown Benz also, and it worked very good. It has the wastegate flange already made just to fit a 38 millimeter, which I have here. Just a cheap China model, but it will work good just as in the brown one. Suspension parts, which I just got in back from Nymans Grev. They have sandblasted and painted everything. I already started to mount in some fresh bearings and big spline hubs, which I have used in my previous builds. So if you want to get more details about these, you can check my previous build episodes. And then I got these same wheels as I have used on 2 previous builds. I feel like I don't have to change wheel model anymore because these look so good. On this wagon 124 Mercedes, it's original AMG from S-Class, I think. And they are 18-inch in diameter and 8.5 wide in the front and 9.5 in the back. These will be glass blasted because they have got some damage on these outer corners. They will also be painted in the center. This outer will be just polished like in the previous build. Kiitola Bilmåleri did some clear coat on these outer barrels, but it didn't hold. I don't know what was wrong with it, but after a while the whole clear coat came off like some, I don't know, paper. And then I have one upgrade here, which I didn't have on the brown one. It is this bigger ASD differential, and this only came with the 24 valve 124 models, and it has a 210 millimeter sprocket inside. So this should be the steadiest diff that you can find that fits bolt on to the 124 rear subframe. But it has the same width here between these flanges. So you can use the same drive shafts just as with this original type of diff. Here you can see some changes between the looks of it. But this should be very or much more steadier than this one. But I have never broke a diff yet on my builds. I only break the CV joints. The diff shouldn't be a problem, and this I got this also from Spain or Portugal. It is a 3:06 ratio, and the brown Mercedes build had 3:27, I think, or 3:29, and that worked really well. So hopefully this won't be too heavy. I think it will work good. Here I have the gearbox, the same type as I have used in 2 of my previous builds. It's the 6-speed GS653 DZ model, but this is a little bit different from the ones I have used before, because this didn't have this axle which comes in the engine, like it's called pilot bearing in Swedish. I don't know if that's in English, but I had to make this axle here so it comes out instead of an axle going in the spline axle. So I took the old bearing out, which is original here inside, and then I make this with a press fitting inside the axle and then also welded here so it doesn't come out. I have also made the same bell housing swap on this myself, just cut both gearboxes in my homemade jig and welded it up. I tried a new method on this one. I welded first one layer from the outside, and then I took it out of the jig and I welded it from the inside, and then I put it back in the jig, and then I welded once more from the outside to make the weld a little bit more even. So hopefully this will work as good as in the previous ones. Next step now is mounting the suspension parts under the car so I can get it back on its wheels and then transport it to Kiitola Bilmåleri. And I haven't really chosen a color for the car yet. It will be a special color, but I don't really know yet which one to choose. I think he has made some examples for me there, so I will go check that out and choose one from them. Yeah, so here I have these same Scania engine mounts, which I have been using, just with this aluminium piece to space it to right height. And then I have these front lights, same as on the brown one, clear glass lights. Here is the rest of the body kit. Side skirts, AMG style, and then the rear bumper, also AMG style. And then I will be using also this Volvo rear wing, which I had on the brown build. It had to be shortened 19 centimeters to fit on the trunk, but that will be done by Kiitola Bilmåleri also. Then I also have these smoked tail lights as in the previous one, and these USA style front blinkers and avant-garde grill. The interior will be just the same as it was. It had the original leather interior, so I will go with that one. Or actually I found this leather steering wheel. It is just the same as the original one, except it's in leather instead of this plastic stuff which it had original. So this is the only upgrade for the interior. The rest will be this same leather as it was. I will start mounting some stuff together now and try to film something while I build, and hopefully this was something to watch for you. I don't know if you made it all the way here, but thanks for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye.